person get in and you won't even mess with that relationship. You understand what I'm saying?
Hold on. Now, you know, Miss Gallo, I can only see your forehead. Right?
Okay. And so, anyway, when I got married,
Miss Gallo. I love you so much.
I love you too,
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Movie Book Club. I'm your host, Joel Nieto, and joining me today is a very, very special guest. She's the one, the only, the lady who made me fall in love with teaching, Miss Hermione Gallo. How are you, Miss Gallo?
I'm wonderful, Joel. How are you?
I'm good. How have you been?
I've been just fine. Thank you. It's been a while.
So I ask of every new guest that we have on, how's quarantine life treating you?
Oh, I'm fine. I've got my dogs. You know, Dorothy's here, of course.
So who's Dorothy?
My daughter. And
how's that working out?
We're confined, and but it's okay with me. Lots of be still time.
Okay.
Just
because that's usually
think, relax. I mean, it's no problem for me.
What do you do to keep yourself busy?
Well, I'm working on all kinds of stuff. I'm a little attention deficit, so I've got all kind of fun. I mean, for real. Mm-hmm. It kind of hypes you up, because I usually go to bed real early. I get up early, and one night Dorothy told me, she said, "Mommy, go to bed." And I said, "But I'm not sleepy." She said, "Just get into bed and be still." She said, "You're just busy.
All right. So have you been watching anything on Netflix, anything like that?
Well, Madam C.J. Walker.
That's what we're here to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Once again, everybody, this is the Movie Book Club. Each week, what we do is me and a group of friends, or in this case, an old friend of mine, grab a movie off of Netflix, we watch it, and then we talk about it for your amusement. If this is something you'd like to do, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom of this video at the end to let us know your thoughts on what we've been seeing. If this is your first time watching Movie Book Club, the way the show works is we do a very broad level review, no spoilers. We just give our thoughts on whether or not this movie or show or TV thing is even worth your time. So today's big Movie Book Club topic is, Ms. Gallo, what did we watch?
Madam C.J. Walker.
Self-Made, the Madam C.J. Walker story on Netflix.
Yes.
Starring Octavia Spencer. All right, so Miss Gallo, so what'd you think of it?
There are just so many lessons in it. Being a teacher, of course, there's always a lesson. But if I were to take just one subject, it would be relationships.
If I'm being honest, I loved episodes 1, 2, and 3. But to tell you the truth, by episode 7, because I watched the entire thing, I don't know. I was a little, I was not happy with where this lady's life had become, which is not, it's not a storytelling thing. It's more like it was her life. It was the truth, apparently,
Yeah.
But I think the way she managed her relationships caused for a lot of unnecessary pain, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Because I'm a person. I'm a people person.
I do know you're a person.
I'm a people person. And I do believe in love. And again, you said no spoilers right away, but relationships are so important. And but the husband-wife relationship is also a very, very special one. Of course, we know. And so,
in your opinion, how does that factor into your thoughts on the show as a whole?
Well, because she had 2 marriages in the show. The second marriage, I really thought he was a good man. But
yeah, right. I thought the same thing, because I know that actor Blair Underwood. What was funny was that I saw him, and immediately every time I see Blair Underwood, I think, okay, well, there's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he always, in every Tyler Perry movie, he's the bad guy, right?
He's the bad guy. That's right. But
like I said, by episode 3, I was like, oh, I like Blair. Look at Blair being a nice old husband. And even out of C.J. Walker, Octavia Spencer's character, out of her mouth, she's like, this was her second marriage. The last guy used to beat her, and she had a maid with this dude. I mean, he was nice. He was good looking.
Yes.
He was kind. He was
and
rich.
he loved her.
He loved her. He funded all. He gave up all his money money.
He supported her.
His
He
house,
supported
his parents'
her.
house, but his career.
Yes.
There's a lot that this guy was doing, and like honestly, I almost felt like this show. It did you ever see Breaking Bad? You ever heard of that show?
No.
Oh, okay. It was about this this drug dealer trying to make an empire, you know, and to hell with everything and everyone else that stood in his way, and all the collateral damage that was done when a person forsakes everything to reach a goal. And I saw a lot of parallels between this, even though she wasn't selling drugs, she was selling this hair pomade stuff. But to wrap it up, I think my overall thoughts was just like, I recommend it, you know, because I liked it. I thought it was an enjoyable show. I thought it was I thought it was well acted. I thought the direction was good, except for certain parts here and there. But yeah, I just remember watching it and I left feeling angry in a way.
Okay. I think it was all, I loved it. Again, there were just so many life lessons, and I think everyone should watch it.
Okay, well, let's go ahead. You know, I'm tired of beating around the bush. I want to go and talk full spoilers. We're gonna go into details, guys. Again, this is the Movie Book Club podcast. Each week we grab a movie off of Netflix. Me and a couple friends gather around a table and we talk about it for your amusement. If this is something you'd want to be a part of, you can join in the discussion. At the end of the video, we're going to give you the next and final movie book club for season 1. But for right now, guys, we're going into full-blown spoilers on Self-Made, the Madam C.J. Walker story. So if you haven't seen it, pause the video. We're going to be right here. Come back when you're done.
Hair is beauty. Hair is power.
Damn, Sarah, how big you want to be?
Big. Carnegie, Ford, and Rockefeller put together.
I'm a ruler, yeah. I'm a ruler. I'm a ruler, yeah.
You know what's funny is the perspective in which you're taking on the Madam C.J. Walker story is the relationship aspect, right? Because I think most people watching this, the very first thing that's going to pop to their mind is like woman empowerment, you know, and like self-made, and it's the story of the first female millionaire in all of America, you know, and she happened to be African American, which is crazy.
Exactly.
And like when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is the rise of Madam C.J. Walker, and I was like, cool, I was in for the ride. But by episode 7, to see where her failed marriage, the relationship she had with her daughter towards the end, her attitude, I just felt like the show could have been called Self-Destructed, the Madam C.J. Walker story, and I would have been like, okay, that to me that was some more apt kind of description.
Well, as far as the relationship with her daughter is concerned, I love the way at the end she accepted her for who she was. Her happiness was important. Now, initially, I think Madam C.J. Walker did what basically any parent might have done. You know, this was her only child. You know, I want you to get married. I want some grandchildren. You know, I want the traditional.
What I thought was interesting though is that it wasn't, I don't accept you for who you are, because you know, her daughter in the show comes out as a lesbian, right? Right. And so it's not even so much that she was saying, I'm a traditionalist, you know, I don't believe in your life choices, you know, I want grandchildren. No, by the end of it, the problem was she had become the first millionaire. And her problem with her daughter the entire time wasn't necessarily that she was a lesbian. It was that she was not taking the family business seriously.
Right, but she touched on it.
And I need an heir.
She wanted an heir. But she did touch on it when she came down the stairs in the movie and they were embracing each other. Mm-hmm. And then they had a conversation and she said, but she told her mother, she said, no, this, you know, this is the way it is. And I love the way she picked up the business in her own way. And I think she amazed her mother.
Let me stop you there and ask you this. What was your understanding of who or what Madam C.J. Walker even was? Because as a 32-year-old Hispanic man, I never even heard of the lady.
Well, see, I've known for years who Madam C.J. Walker was.
Okay, so like how are we talking? Like years as in you're a teen, your 30s, 40s?
Probably elementary school. Okay,
why is that?
Well, because, you know, my mom was a teacher.
Okay.
There were 7 of us, and we didn't have iPads and laptops and none of that. So basically, when mother came home, we'd have to sit at the table, do our homework. And then if it wasn't reading time or do homework, mother would talk to us about people, tell us about our culture. She wanted us to know, you know, that we were.
And Madam C.J. Walker was one of those.
Yes. And see,
Madam C.J. Walker is one of those characters.
Right. Because now what a lot of people thought, well, she invented the straightening comb.
Yeah, and if you're watching right now and you don't know what a straightening comb is, Miss Gallo, can you please enlighten us as to what that is?
Back in the day, you know, it was a comb, but it was like iron or metal, and you put it on the stove.
Okay.
And you would get it real hot, and then you take your hair and you would straighten it, you know. And so, now we have flat irons. You know,
so let me ask you another thing that they brought up in it, which was the idea of a black woman's hair. Is it common for it to fall out like that?
Stress will do anything. Stress made her eat. You would notice sometimes when she was really stressed, she'd eat me. But stress will make your hair fall out. Yeah. Stress is not good. You know, we've got to stop stressing.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's kind of start and talk about like the framework of the movie, and that'll help us. So we're introduced to Madam C.J. Walker, and she has a friend named Addie, who is a thin, traditionally beautiful, you know, woman who just so happens to have the cure to like her hair falling out, which is what was it called? What was it called? It was a pomade, or how did they call it?
But it was something that she used, to help grow the hair.
So she meets Addie. Addie starts, you know, treating her hair. You do my laundry and I'll do your hair treatments, you know? And before you know it, her hair's back, her confidence is up. And I'm going to go out there on a controversial opinion. You tell me what you think. I think one of the biggest victims of this show is Addie.
I don't. I don't. Now, I could relate to Addie because my mother was very fair. And growing up, if I went somewhere with my mother, I thought as a child that people would not know that she was my mother because of my color, because of the color of my skin.
She was lighter than you?
Oh, yeah. My mother was your color.
Oh, okay.
So, but my dad was very dark. And so therefore, if mother and daddy were both with me, people knew that's their child.
Oh, that's the family
But
unit.
if daddy wasn't there, then favoritism toward the fair-skinned African American, that's been common. We grew up with that.
But let me paint a picture to you. Let's pretend we've never seen Self-Made, the Madam C.J. Walker story. And I told you there is this woman whose mother was a slave who had been raped by her master. She then grew up. She also started her own business, developed her own chemical hair product, Addie's Miracle Hair Balm. It's helping women, it's doing all this stuff. She's making a name for herself. She even sees, you know, somebody lower in status culturally than her and seeks to help her out, fixes her hair, makes her look all right. And to have that lady steal everything from her, the chemical thing, and then at the end, that other lady's offended because she's been caught stealing.
Okay, let's back it up. I mean, she helped Madam C.J. Walker, right? She helped her grow her hair.
Listen, that make her a millionaire.
She helped her grow her hair, but I'm going to help you. Listen to this, Nieto. I'm going to help you, Nieto, as a beginning teacher, but you've got to stay in your place. You're just a beginning teacher. You can't grow. You're a beginning teacher. You are Hispanic, and you are in America. You're the idol. You're fine. You're nice and fine, but you've got to stay in your place. You're from a single parent home. You've got to stay in your place. So I'm going to help you as a teacher. I'm not going to help you learn technology. I'm not going to,
I'm not going to clean up your desktop.
Yes. Think of how you helped me.
Those of you who don't know, Miss Gallow's desktop on her computer was legendary.
Yeah, but look how you helped me. You know, it wasn't like, okay, you're old and you're going to be retiring anyway soon. I don't have time. But if I called you, you came and helped me.
Absolutely.
But it gets deeper when you talk about race.
Yeah, so I could see that. And look, I know that's why I said it was a controversial opinion. Yeah. I just felt like by the end of the thing, Madam C.J. Walker, she became the first African-American woman, the first woman to be a millionaire off the hard work and back of this woman named Addie, and stole from her. And then, like, as an audience member, like, I'm supposed to feel guilty for Madam C.J. Walker or feel sympathy, but then it's like, you're just you're a bigger girl, and you didn't want to put you on the selling team.
Let's take it back to the classroom. Okay, we have an objective. that we're going to work on. We have a lesson, right?
Yeah.
And you know, these are our lesson plans. This is what we're going to do. You remember how the administrators would walk around to our room and every teacher was teaching the same objective? Okay, we're doing the same lesson plan. You put your own twist on it, okay? So what Madam C.J. Walker did, it wasn't the exact formula. She added some to it, and she put her own twist on it. And that's what she did. Now,
Okay. So let's keep moving, because I think you okay. That's fair. But
I want you to
keep moving.
understand that. I want you,
because that's not my only problem, Matt. Because I think the direction this podcast is going to take is me bringing my problems with Madam C.J. Walker, and you defended me. Okay, so then let's mention the husband, right? Okay, she used to have a husband that beat her, that was abusive,
an alcoholic.
Alcoholic.
He was an alcoholic.
She meets Blair Underwood, and again, I don't mean to play devil's advocate. I'm not trying to be controversial. She meets this fine-looking dude, right? Loves her. Desires her, is rich, puts up his house, double mortgage, is embarrassed in front of men. And it's the status of the time, I'm saying that like men were the head of the household and blah, 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 and he took a lot of risks for her to make sure that his wife's dream came true. And I'm not justifying anything he did. Okay, I'm just saying, like, she began to view him not as like a husband or a helpmate, but like an asset to be used, and then eventually like an asset who was like subpar to Ransom. The dude who eventually comes in, Ransom, played by Kevin Carroll, he's not like I have Ransom. He's smarter than you. He's better than you. He's more dedicated than you. He never asks questions, and then she just like pushes him aside and is surprised when things go awry. Okay,
back to relationships.
Okay.
Everyone doesn't know how to love and to be in a relationship.
I found her character very frustrating, because she was just constantly offended and angry when everything fell apart, or not everyone was 100% in on her business or saw the vision she saw. And like,
see, isn't that true in real life? I love the way you get excited about, when you get excited and you say, Miss Gallow, da 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 da, and you'd go from here. You'd be all up on the. You could all the way, your excitement all the way to the ceiling.
Are you saying I'm like Madam C.J. Walker?
Yeah. And so now we maybe not to that extent. She wanted her women to look beautiful. She had a problem with the fair-skinned women being favored. That happened in the day.
Okay, so one of the other big plot is the separation between her and her husband at the hands of her top seller, who was a light-skinned woman.
Yeah. That hurt. That probably hurt. But let me tell you something. I think had she not been light-skinned, it wouldn't have hurt so bad.
Okay.
What it is.
Everything was wrong about that whole situation, but do you remember that scene where she found out? She was stressed out about her top seller leaving. And then, it's a very graphic scene the first time you see that, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, so he's like, oh, he hides in the closet. The lady gets up, opens the door. Her husband comes in. Sure.
Busted.
Disheveled,
Busted. Yeah.
The first thing out of her mouth was,
where are you doing? What are you doing here? Right.
And then he's like, we were talking business, baby. And then she's like, business? Give me kind of. And then she's not putting two and two together until she sees his shoes gone.
No shoes.
And that's the clue for her that
no shoes.
Morning.
What happened to your shoes, CJ? Huh?
No shoes.
Yeah. And then, but I just thought that was funny. And then, like, she walks out and then he chases after her. Do you remember what he says as he chases after her?
No. What did he say?
He goes, "It's baby. I was just trying to convince her to stay."
Yeah. Yeah. I was helping you. Yeah. Right.
You
in the bed.
like that, babe?
That was a good one, but it wasn't gonna work.
But like, do you remember the scene wherever he comes back and tries to repair the marriage?
With the ring?
I want to make this right. I've ended it with this person, but you stopped treating me like a man.
Yeah.
You walked all over me. What was your thoughts on that scene, though?
On that scene, in the bed, or when he had the ring?
No,
in the ring.
When he made an attempt to repair their relationship.
That's hard. I used to work with this pastor counseling married couples. Marriage is like it's not easy, but it can be beautiful. It's not perfect. There's no perfect marriage, but you've got to work it. Now, my husband, we talked about stuff before we got married and what's important, what's not. But in any given marriage, sex is pretty at the top. Yeah, it is. When I watched it, I was like, you know what? That's the biggest mistake women make. I used to tell the young teachers.
Wait, what's the biggest mistake?
Not taking care of each other's needs. You see, men really don't care if they eat. You know, I mean, they rather go, they'll go without shoes. They'll go without glasses. They'll go without.
Take my legs.
Yeah, take my legs. But no, really, that's what marriage is all about, you know. And when
it's the most intimate you can be.
Exactly.
With another human being.
Exactly.
And to have that aspect of the relationship violated in the time of her financial and business crisis. I'm gonna soften up on Madam C.J. Walker because I think
she didn't know how, Joel. She didn't know how to love him. Her first marriage was abusive. Okay. So after that, like, she's broken, you know. So Madam C.J. Walker, to me, her main fault was not taking care of her husband's needs. Because, you know, the scenes that they showed in the movie, he enjoyed being with her. He enjoyed her. She enjoyed him. But then she flicked back to business. No, it can't be like that. She loved him, but she showed him the best way she could, which was not enough. And she neglected him. I wasn't surprised he had an affair.
And I think that's
just wasn't right, but I wasn't surprised.
I think what's interesting is that both you and I recommend this movie, right?
Yes.
What's funny though is I feel like you and I recommend it for the fable or the lessons that can be learned in the movie, and which I don't feel is the intended lesson that the director wanted. Like, I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like the message of the thing was like personal empowerment, knowing your worth, you know, never taking no for an answer and this and that. But it's like, what profit is it to her to gain all this money? You know what I'm saying? And be the first millionaire. Yeah. But by the time it's over with, I mean, like, there is so much damage along the way. And I just couldn't turn that part of my brain off. I just felt like what I couldn't reconcile with this character was just how inconsiderate she could be at the pursuit of making her business profitable. Yeah, that's the only thing that I did not like about Madam C.J. Walker. That's the only place where I saw where she really just went off the scale with it. Yeah. Well, and are there any final thoughts you want to wrap up for the people? Why is Self-Made a must-see in your book? It encourages dreams. It's anyone who watches the movie and they've had a dream, they will look and reflect back on themselves. Wait a minute, what am I going to do with mine? Am I going to sit on my dreams, or am I going to work my dreams like Madam C.J. Walker? All right, Ms. Gallow, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always a blast to talk to you, my dear friend. Keep in mind, we've got a generation gap here. 66. You're not even 36 yet, are you? I'm 32. So it's a huge generation gap. It's like a 30-year gap there. Yeah. Well, again, Miss Gallow, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate the perspective you bring, because you're coming at this with, you know, double my lifetime's worth of experience and on a character from history that I knew nothing about until the show. So you definitely brought a perspective that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So Ms. Gallow, where can people go to follow you? At H Gallow. At H Gallow on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not on Facebook, you know. But Twitter I do get on more. And all right, and guys, you know me, I'm the one and only Hype to Teach on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and every other social media platform that ever mattered. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Movie Book Club, and we're out. Bye. You broke out. What'd you say? I'm gonna send you a picture of me and 50 Cent. The rapper? Yeah.